today's meeting's going to be live streamed. So, and last month's meeting had 9 live stream viewers and was viewed by 62 people after the fact.
Oh, that's great.
Also, in you should have received your tax contribution form. If you haven't, let us know. And lastly, for me, Danielle's going to mention the walkathon during the calendar, but it's not till April. But there is a deadline for the logo contest, which is next Friday. Okay. You'll have to check with Mr. Harris.
Yeah.
They're doing it during class time. Walk-in time.
And also, if you want to participate or be a volunteer for the walkathon, there's a meeting Tuesday morning, next Tuesday at 8:30 here in, or 8:15 here in the here in the Karen Center. That's what I have so far. You're up.
Okay, so since this is our first meeting post strike, again, I just want to thank you guys so much. You guys were amazing here at Richland and district-wide. Parents like really made a proper statement. Most schools were at like 15-20% of kids showing up, which is amazing. That sends a really powerful message. I kind of drove home the point that, okay, if something needs to change and teachers are informed and they need to be back in the classroom. So again, thank you again for helping out your understanding. We're about to begin our after-school tutoring program. It's going to start on February 20th through May 8th. It's 20 hours altogether from 2:45 to 3:45, 1 hour twice a week for 10 weeks. Some of you guys will get a permission slip. We're offering after-school tutoring for second grade. There's some language arts, but mostly school-wide, it's math and French being the focus. Okay, so about approximately 80 to 90 students will be invited out of our 314 that the teachers feel that need a little extra support in either math or French. Okay, so this is the permission slip. It looks like this. They'll come home by the end of the week, or maybe Monday. Okay. Yes.
Like if the teachers
It's
like
kind of
doing
on
great in French, but I'm like, yeah, I can't help.
So we're trying to really kind of get the kids who need a little extra support. So this is going to be kind of like an intervention in a sense, where we want to get them, maybe they're not learning French quite as quickly as the other kids, or they need additional support in math. So it's really kind of kids who were most excellent.
So it's invitational.
Invitational. Yes. 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 Those are all kids. Again, we've had 2 parents possibly interested. I wanted to put it out there again. The consulate has a program where they bring in potential French teachers to come and work in the United States. They're working as TAs. The consulate pretty much puts most of the bill. It's like maybe a small amount that we have to pay out of pocket. The catch is that we need to be able to provide housing for these assistants. So if there's anybody interested, so far I've had 1 parent for sure, another parent maybe. If you're interested and can possibly house basically kind of like an exchange student, but like an exchange adult, who would be working here at the school as a TA. So if you can do it for 6 months or a year, please let me know if you're interested in doing that. So it's a good experience. It's a wonderful opportunity for your kids to practice French basically all day with this person. Oh, it's a very strict process.
Do they babysit?
So, yeah.
Can we run to the store?
Also on the French line of things, actually let me start this real fast. Mr. Fazio's got a quick announcement. Come on, Mr. Fazio.
I don't know what happened to the chat option.
So my name is Elizabeth Fazio. I'm a teacher here. I'm also the vendor coordinator for the Mar Vista Art Walk. And I just wanted to tell you about it because it's a family-friendly event. It's March 7th, Thursday night, on Venice Boulevard from 6 to 10. It's a great way for you to get more involved in Mar Vista and the community and see some of the art. We're actually in the process of turning Venice Boulevard Boulevard into like an arts district, going from like Sawtell all the way down to the end of Venice, towards the beach. So that whole entire 3 mile stretch, you'll start to see more arts and more families and more events. So come on out, and I'll be here maybe in a few weeks, right, the day before, or the day of, to remind you to come out. We have face painting, we have music stages, and the kids love it. It's something fun to do on a Thursday night.
Do you have all the vendors you need, or?
No, I need about 30 more vendors. So if they go to arvistaartwalk.org and just hit apply. The application takes us a minute to fill it out, and then we review it. We're looking for artisans. We're still looking for more artists. If you know anyone who would like to try to apply, it'd be great. Thank you. Yeah. So artisans, like jewelry, clothing, print, original art, plants. Like I make succulent designs, and so that's what I used to do. Is I used to work for the Art Walk and sell my products. We're looking for anything like that, something creative that's made handmade. Yeah, so you could apply, and if we ask that you put your pictures on the application, and then we review it. We're very open. So there's free vendors, and there's a premium vendor application, so whatever you want to try.
Did you say free?
So most of our vendors are donation vendors. We ask that you donate a certain amount of money, like whatever you feel comfortable with. Or if you would like a prime location, that's $100 as a premium vendor. You can apply for both, and then you'll get one of them. You actually provide your own table. If you're a premium vendor, you can bring a tent. If you're a donation vendor, you're not really allowed to bring a tent. You're on the sidewalk, so the tents kind of are in the way. But you bring your own lighting and your own table and your own cords, and you set up around 5 o'clock and break down around 10 o'clock. And what we'd love for you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, this month there's Roots. We're celebrating the Oaxacan community. So that stretch of Mar Vista and a large population.
Great, thank you.
Going back to the French part, our third graders are going to be taking the DELF exam in May, and they're also going to take this. The district has this new computer adaptive exam, which is kind of like the SBAC, which the English-speaking kids take. So starting in third grade, they'll take an exam for the first time. They're going to pilot it in French. It'll be online. It'll get measured for proficiency in French. So that's kind of interesting, kind of exciting that there's something comparable to the SBAC in French for our kids. And then parent-teacher conferences will be at the end of February, from February 20, actually starting on the 22nd, then the 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. Those are all 154 dismissals. You may ask, why is the 29th not a 154 dismissal? Okay, no, that's the first. That's because of the time to operate. So we have 154 out for all of parent-teacher conferences. It's the last week of February. Friday before. Questions? Start fixing right after, yeah. Start any other after-school program, they go by a dismissal. All right.
All right. We will take a quick look at the calendar before diving into some of the items in more detail. So January, we had our Great Kindness Week. Were there any big highlights? Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. It was a week after, right?
It just gets the, it's a good reminder of we did that was accomplished with a few people, but.
Well, thank you so much for reading that. And everyone should come home with the checklist for the backpack. You can go on here. Then here we are now in February. So here at our booth space. Thank you for everyone attending in person and online. Our Black History Month performance is coming up next Friday on the 15th. There'll be the 9 a.m. rehearsal followed by the 1 p.m. performance. So unlike the winter show where both were actual performances, this one's going to be a legit rehearsal, but more than welcome to attend if you'd like to see it. Then in March, we'll have Tiger Bra, so Alan will talk some more about that in just a bit. A garden day on the 7th, or sorry, on the 2nd, that'll be 10 to 1. So Cammy's going to work on the garden, and then if there's time, the area near the auditorium as well. Then we'll be back here for our booster meeting, and that will be an evening meeting. As Pamela mentioned, we'll be alternating between morning and evening. So we'll see you here at night or on the live stream. Then we'll have book fair. So Pamela will give you a little bit more detail on that in just a bit. Yeah. Oh, very good point. We can look at another day. Yeah, what else is going on and if there's an opportunity to move that. And then on the 22nd, we'll be here for the open house. We'll talk about that a little bit more in just a bit as well. Then in April, our booster meeting, we'll have a budget review. So that's where we'll talk about everything that we may want to have in the budget for next year. So everything that we originally planned, everything that we just voted on in December. So that's a really important meeting if you're able to attend, because all those dollars that we work really hard to raise all year and all your contributions, that's when we think about how we're going to start spending that next year. Then of course we'll have our walkathon on the 12th. Zara will be here next month to give more details on that, some more coming. But in the meantime, make sure to enter that logo contest and get psyched for a walkathon. And then science fair. And that takes us almost to the end of the year. Crazy, crazy. Okay, so next up we have Alan, who will talk more about Tiger Bra.
All right, hey guys. This month, not being distracted by the strike anymore, I genuinely am excited to talk about Tiger Bra. The most important thing everybody needs to understand about this year is that your children will not be making floats or costumes at school in their classes. So if you want your child to participate in the parade, in a parade, if you want your child to walk down, throw things at people, whatever, you guys have to form a crew and enter them into the parade yourselves. Now, obviously not everybody's going to enter the parade. Not everyone has to enter the parade. We need people to watch the parade also. So by all means, I'm not saying everybody has to enter, but if you want that experience for your child, for your family, by all means, give me the enrollment form, which is in everyone's packet. It's also on the website. If you go onto the booster page on the website, there's a Tiger Bra link. If you hit that and scroll down, there's a sign-up form on the website. The form has some suggestions for what to do with your float, but there's two things that aren't on there that I want to mention. The first thing is, and this happened with my crew last year, we brought other friends and families in. So we actually had I think 4 families by the time we were done. So the kids got to come up with ideas together. We had a theme that we sort of loosely stretched through all 4 families. And so we all got to be a part of that together, and that was really fun. So if any of you guys are maybe thinking about doing this, but maybe think it's too much to do by yourselves, I would definitely recommend asking your kid, or you probably know which families and other kids you would like to team up with to become what I call a super crew. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But you don't have to build a float. Costumes are fine. Masking is kind of essential to the tradition. So if you do go in costume, I would highly encourage masks, although you don't really have to have a mask. Part of what's happening with Tiger Bra over now, the soon to be 2 years, is we're kind of learning a little bit more about this tradition each year. And at our planning meeting on 12th night earlier this year, Pamela and I were talking, and we were talking about what is it about Tiger Draw that motivates me so much to bring this to the kids. And yes, I like a party, I like a fun time as much as the next guy, but the real thing that motivates me about Tiger Draw is it's a day out of normalcy. It's a day where kids are encouraged and invited to have fun and to make fun, and also to reverse the structures that they normally live under all the other 364 days of the year. And it's really an opportunity for them to express themselves, but also make fun of the normal routine that we go through here. So satire is an essential part of what I'm trying to bring to Richland with Tiger Draw, because for myself, my own educational experience, it was when I found satire that I realized that all those smart alecky things I've been thinking in my head actually have a function and a place where I can put those. And I was encouraged to do that when I found a creative outlet for satire, and it really helped me connect with some parts of my own intelligence, which was really helpful to me. So that's a big part of what we're trying to bring here by doing this, is not just the fun, but also to hide what your real identity is and poke fun of or pay homage to any interest that you have. Last year my crew did Fat Fish, which was a joke on rainbow fish. Instead of the rainbow fish giving away all of his shiny scales, we had scales on the fat fish that were decorated shiny. As we went through the parade, we took one off and gave one to some lucky kids that were in the parade. So that was like a fun way for my daughter to sort of flip the story that she had been reading for all these years and kind of take some ownership of it. And so masks are a good first step to get you out of your normal identity for that day. Yes.
Cammy said there is now a link on the Booster homepage to sign up for.
Great. So the link is now easier to access. So you have one less excuse not to sign up. Yes. Absolutely. And anyone that's with you and your crew is invited here that afternoon. I had one friend who came in from Joshua Tree, another friend came down from Oakland to be part of our crew that day. I've tried to motivate to connect with some businesses to get businesses in the community to also enter the parade and give us a donation. I haven't had the time this year quite so much to hit the streets, but by all means, you don't have to be a student or a parent. You just have to be with a student or a parent. Exactly. All right, so just a couple other points. The other thing that's not on the sign-up sheet, but when you turn your sign-up sheet into me, I will make sure to remind crews of this multiple times once you're signed up. I want all the crews to make a sign at the front of their crew this year. It doesn't have to be big. It can be big, but it'd be cool to have a sign so that everybody can see which crew is coming. Because this year we're not gonna, one of the consistent suggestions I had after last year was that the parade flow more smoothly, not so many starts and stops. So this year there's gonna be, whatever crews we get are just gonna march in order. I'm basically gonna do 2 parades. Let's say we get 20 crews, I'll do 10 first, and then we'll take a break, eat king cake, then we'll do 10 more crews. That way, 10 crews that go first can then stop and enjoy watching the other 10 crews that come afterwards. So you can have a little piece of both, watching and participating. As well as logistically, I think it'll make it smoother, and it gives us a break for the kids to get their cake. But yeah, make a sign. No. Yep. Yep. What we did last year, which I haven't worked out the specifics, but I presume we'll probably have something similar, is we coordinated to have this gate open here near the parent center in the morning for parents who wanted to drop off their floats. If the parent center is available and your float can come inside, you can put it in here. But what we mostly did was just have them stage outside of the parent center, right in this area, in a way that was semi roped off so that not everyone could check them out all day, although they sort of did anyways. But yeah, so bring it in the morning. If that morning doesn't work for you, I'm sure we can work something out if you need to bring it the night before. Mr. G and all of the plant staff was super supportive last year and made that as easy as possible for the parents.
But you make it at home.
Yes, you make it at home. 2:30, although it's really, the parade's not really going to start till about 2:50 because the Star kids eat their dinner first. And that's not moving. That's got to happen. So that's going to happen. But we're going to have some entertainment. There'll be something going on there to sort of hold people for that 20-minute period while everything kind of gets set up. It'll give the crews a chance to get organized. They can walk out in order. But yes, it will be at 2:30 with the parade start probably around 2:45, 2:50 once the Star kids are done. And it probably will not go as long as last year because we had all of the crews by classes. So it'll probably be a little bit shorter of an event. So I would think probably, I think last year we were out around 4:30. I think this year we'll probably be out around 3:45. All right. There's just a couple other quick notes. Sorry, guys. Oh, yes, the volunteer list is coming soon. A lot of you guys have given me your emails saying you wanted to help. There's two ways you can help. There's lots of creative decisions that are left to be made for organizing some of the peripherals of the event. But as well, we need volunteers on game day. And so if you've given me your email, you will get another email for some of these creative decisions if you want to participate. And you'll get a second email with a volunteer list seeking help to sign up for. Obviously, if you are entering a crew and you want to also volunteer to help, that's probably not going to work. I mean, the event is kind of chaotic in nature, and I don't think it's a good idea to have parents switching out volunteer roles in the middle. However, I'm not saying you can't do it, but if you do it, I'd like you to organize it on your own with a friend. Like, let's say Brad and Union decide they're going to split 1 hour of watching the parade here because you guys each want to roll with your crew. So one person will do the barrier for parade A while this other person does, and then they'll go vice versa. But from my point of view, I just want one of you signing up, and then you guys just work that out on your own. But my presumption is that most people that sign up to volunteer will not be entering. All right. Anything else? Nope. Good. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
So the book fair is going to be March 20th through March 22nd, and Jamie is running it, so she'll be looking for volunteers. The way the book fair works, she's got it set up really well. But the way it works is it's open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But it can only be open if there's an adult in there. So we can say we're open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but if no one volunteers, no one shows up, then it won't be open. And the kids will come home and they will be upset, and we get it, right? So we need volunteers, and
Couple have extra couple hands. As far as decorations, last year we had a mall with help. But it was interested. We just need to throw some color in. It's looking at the book. The decorations are for us. But no toys again this year. Maybe like some pencils and erasers. No stuffed animals. The focus is on books. Wednesday's preview day. Maybe if we have enough people, we'll open Wednesday afternoon. Because last year a lot of kids came with money on preview day and were eager to come back that afternoon. It's all dependent on how many people we can get to just come in. And you don't have to. If you don't want to handle cash, that's okay. We need help with the little ones, finding books, cleaning up, watching the door, all that kind of thing. So there's different roles if you don't want to be at a cash register. But certainly that is one of them also. And that'll be Thursday. That's a good question.
depends on
Yeah.
volunteers.
Well, go ahead. I mean, last year we sent out one of the signups, right? They kind of fell through. People just ended up showing up, and it all ended up working out. So I have faith that will happen again this year. But roughly, I think if we were to open Wednesday afternoon, we would say 2:30 to 4:30, like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Right. And then Thursday and Friday, we want to open during lunch, ideally, and after school until 6 if possible. And Friday's open house, so we certainly want to open after during lunch. So, what time's open house? Through open house,
Yeah.
or yeah.
I know some of the parents wanted us to be open in the morning, like at drop off or just before school, so if we can kind of work that into the volunteer list, we can see.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. I think, again, it depends on who volunteers.
And we're volunteers tomorrow,
Yeah.
certainly morning.
And then with regards to decorations, Alexa, who wanted to be here today, she's at home. Hi, Alexa. She's watching. But she wanted me to mention that, yeah, she was at home last year with our carnival circus themed decorations, which is fantastic. She is willing to do that again this year, but if someone else wants to take the lead, also willing to let someone else take charge of that. And then in terms of theme, I don't know if you've thought about if it's going to be circus or carnival again or something else. But,
And you're gonna listen to the person who wanted to deal with the decorations,
yeah.
She had a party recently with the things that were left over and kind of ran with it, and I gave her full creative control over it. But I don't need to, like, set an idea, but if someone's interested, certainly, happy to help.
No, they're all new books. And we're actually ordering a bunch of French books as well, so there'll be French and English books.
It's a lot of fun. It's just transport the library, and then they come in with their class, and look through all the books, and then they come back with a little list and stuff. Wednesday, I mean, it can get a little tough, especially with the littles, because they need help writing down what they want. We try and limit it to like 2 or 3 books, because, everyone needs to be sure to help write. But that's always a good way, especially if you're a parent of, a TK or kindergarten to come in. We'll try and get a schedule a little closer as to what class is coming at what time. If you're able just to pop in for a certain time.
Would there be an opportunity to have preview day in the morning and drop off too? I know last year my son went to preview day and came home with a list.
I remember.
Yeah.
Sure, we just need people, we'll put together a sign up and get enough bodies there in the morning. I'm happy to be here also. Like, pretty much Rhonda, also try to take the days off
missing.
It's similar.
Okay.
So I talked to spaces and books,
Okay.
and then we kind of transform the library, opening pieces and just setting up different areas and tables and books.
Okay.
They come with the cash register and a really nice point of sale system now where they just scan the books and a parent, our involvement is the setting up and the managing of the store during those hours. And they're books that come from Mrs. Nelson. So they're kind of selected in advance for our school based on the age group and what's most popular for kids reading right now.
But the library is, will be transformed.
Right.
Just imagine a really cute bookstore.
Yeah.
It's something a really nice bookstore. It's actually really fun.
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you on the list last year and literally brought home like Lego books. And one essential. So I didn't have a chance to go there. We didn't because when volunteers had it open. But are there going to be like the age appropriate reading books, like the level books that we're supposed to be reading with them normally at home? Are those available in French?
They're there.
In French, there will be French, yes, there will be. I mean, when you're talking about the ones that, the English ones where it has like a 1 or the 2 or the 3, I don't think it's the same way in the French books, but, yeah.
There's no microphone.
And as Jamie mentioned, they kind of goes right into open house, which is Friday, March 22nd. And so the book fair will be open during that meeting. I guess for open house, you go see your children's room and, maybe go to the book fair or, walk. And then we usually serve dinner. We've had people make tacos the last couple of years, but we don't have anyone scheduled yet. So if anyone's interested in taking over the food for open house, you can reach out to her and see if she's interested. Susan is in charge of food.
Yeah. No, we want that.
And so any questions for open house? Questions as well, but
I'm also thinking of doing a French, movie screen on the next open house. Like short, like cartoon animated,
the auditorium.
yeah.
We don't have any movie nights scheduled this year.
What is the timing for this? Good question. I believe it's, I want to say around 4 to 6 or 4 to 7.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head. I think maybe dinner starts at 4 and after
There's two different
yeah.
menus usually, like the
4:30 to 5:30, 5:30, food fair.
There's no lunchtime or anything like that. Just all that.
It's all after school.
All right, thank you.
All right. How many people here are members of the French Kids in LA Facebook page? All right, we got a few. So we wanted to talk because that page is there. Some people know about it, some people don't. Some people are members, some people have no idea how to become a member. And some people are using it as a resource to communicate information out. I know I do it frequently for booster events and other things that we're organizing. And you post something, you spend all this time, you put the perfect photos. It's like seen by 6 people. One of them is Pamela and so we want to figure out how we can best leverage that page. Noonan was one of the originators. It started out as the current 2nd graders when they were kinders, just wanted to have play dates. So somebody started a Facebook page to kind of get everyone together. It, from there took off. Some people joined, others didn't. And as we look at it, there's how we can get more of the school community engaged in that page, and also just think about from a broader communication perspective. We have our Richland Facebook page, we have our booster emails, we have this page. How does it all tie together? So what's our overall vision for communication in general? What's our strategy, and then how do we best execute that? Whether it's leveraging that existing community of those 138 people and get getting others to join that, pushing that, funneling that somewhere else. So I wanted to see if anyone here or at home is passionate about social media, that Facebook page in particular, and we think it really does deserve someone who's a champion of that and overall communications to figure out what do we do with that to make sure that as we're posting things to communicate with people, it's actually getting to the right people. Any takers? If not, we will send it out and try to close it from class. And then is there anything else you wanted to talk about in terms of the pages that help?
Also, the issue that we had was that there's a Richland page as well, Facebook page. And then there's, talk of doing a booster Facebook page. And I'm wondering if there's too many pages, do we need to combine, just have a Richland page and have it be the French Kids or the Richland page, but have just transfer everybody over just to have one page? Because everybody thinks they're getting all the information from Richland, but they're not. Everybody thinks they're getting it from French Kids, but they're not. So if we can combine everything, and that'll just make it a lot smoother.
I think this
I think that would be
separate. So maybe that's something we can. And then one of the other differences is so the Richland page, I can't just post something to the Richland page. Everything's posted on behalf of Richland, and that's the only speaker on the page. Whereas the French kids, anybody can post anything, and it's more conversation based. And then also because it's a closed audience, like Madame Sandrine posts photos of your kids, which I know everybody loves seeing. I don't think everybody would love for that to be on a public page that just anybody can join. So I think there's value. We just got to figure out what is that and how do we make sure that it's serving a purpose and not over communicating.
Have it invite only, add these to be multiple admins that allow for them to accept people in the group, so we're not having people from friends who end up in the group or neighbors or anything like that. The group should be just parents, but our photos are not being shared for people. That's my opinion of a page versus
The way it's set up right now is it is a closed group. It's invited by members. So the admin doesn't have to accept the person, but they have to be invited by another. So, Facebook.
Yeah, it is closed.
It is closed.
Yeah.
But, so I'm wondering if some of the French people are relatives.
Yeah.
Cousins or aunts or whatever, so they can see the kids.
But not everyone is using Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to make people go on Facebook to do it? Like, a lot of people don't even like Facebook. So if they have the choice to go in it, they can go see it. If they don't see it, why do we care?
Well, yeah, and we're not trying to convert people that are non-Facebook users to Facebook. But if someone is a Facebook user, I know in our class last year, Bree left. She was at the end of the year, I was like, oh, this French kids page, all these pictures, and she had no idea. And then I invited her, and she's like, I have a whole year of showing pictures to look at. And she had no idea it existed. And there were a lot of people in our class that at the very end of the year didn't even know that Sandrine was posting photos all year.
So maybe a class parent could send a little note.
Maybe
and
the
say,
beginning of the
"There's
year."
a Facebook page, French kids in LA. If you're interested, go on and look. But I don't think it should be up to all of these people to make sure people go on Facebook and have a page to look at. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think you should use Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't-
Yeah, and it's more for the photos and the community. So your messages about here's an event coming up will be distributed through school or flyers and booster email, but more of hey, here's pictures from that event. Here's Tiger Groth. Here's what happened at Tiger Groth. Those photos, I think it's just an avenue. And if someone has a better idea other than Facebook of a way to circulate that stuff, that allows us to talk, share photos, share events, share whatever it is. Open to other things. It's just the page is already there, and we're looking at how do we leverage that. But if there's something else that people are on MySpace.
Because some people really enjoy going in and looking at pictures.